Today's video is all about the best Mercenary Laborer explained. Which Mercenary Laborer should you use? What tier, guild hall, or house should you use? Which zone is the best silver per hour? I'm going to go into some severe and deep calculations to show you which one that I think is the best Mercenary Laborer and show you all the math and all the time it takes to fill journals and whatnot. Let's get right into it here. And I'm just going to paste it and go. So here we go, starting with Tier 8 Mercenary Journals. We can see here that it takes 5 minutes to fill 15 of these in a Tier 8 Black Zone. Not in the Mist. I timed it in just Tier 8 Open World mobs. It'll take a little longer in the Mist, but 5 minutes is the fastest that I can fill 15 of these. Because a guild hall can hold 15 laborers. That's about our maximum per guild hall. So you get an average of 9,546 silver. Now, the way you average the silver is as follows. Because you can't fully get a 50% yield from a Tier 8 guild hall, you have to... The highest I can get is 45%. If I reduce my laborers down to like 12, I could squeeze a little bit more out. But this is the most reasonable number. And that's with telescopes. You can't get this high on Asia or Europe because telescopes don't exist. If you don't know what that is, a telescope is a basically a recruiter's, a founder's trophy, the explorer's spyglass. I'm sorry, I'm calling it a telescope. It's literally a telescope. Come on now. Anyway, so one guild hall is 143,000 silver in 5 minutes of time. That sounds pretty damn good, but you do have to farm in a Tier 8 Black Zone, okay? You also need a Tier 8 guild hall with telescopes to get that 45%. So what this means is you would need 12 guild halls or 1.2 billion silver in funds to reach 1.7 million silver per hour. This will take 706 hours to pay back, as in, if you go out in a Tier 8 Black Zone and you grind for 706 hours, that's how long it's going to take until you can make your money back that you spent on these guild halls and laborers. Now, Tier 7 Mercenary Journals is a little bit less, 6,303 average silver. You have one guild hall, 94.5k. You need a Tier 8 guild hall for that 50% chance, but you don't need the telescopes because you can still reach 50% without them. So you need 600 million invested to make 1.1 million silver per hour, which will take you 546 hours to pay back. This is a better deal. Also, Tier 7 zones are way easier and quicker to get to. So Tier 6 Mercenary Journals, again, Tier 6, 7, and 8 all take about 5 minutes to fill 15 of these in the open world, right? It's give or take, but it's the closest I could get when I averaged, multiple trials. So, this one is 4,035 average silver. You make 726,000 per hour, or 166 hours to pay back. Tier 5 and Tier 4 get a little different, okay, guys? So, you can fill 400 Tier 5 Mercenary Journals by soloing a Tier 5 static zone. That's right. Now, each of these Mercenary Journals give you 2,619 average silver, and the guild hall only needs to be Tier 6, so it's 39.2k silver in about 2 minutes of time, and I think I have a little typo there, but whatever. So this is actually 98,000 effective silver in 5 minutes, so this beats Tier 7 and Tier 6. It does not beat Tier 8, though. So you need a Tier 6 guild hall or 8 million silver invested for that 50% chance to double the silver. You need 27 guild halls, or only 216 million invested. I know that's still a lot of silver for just about everybody. And that'll get you 1.2 million silver per hour, but it'll take you 180 hours to pay back, which is still an insanely long amount of grinding time, right? And then finally, Tier 4 Mercenary Journals. You can fill 800 of these in 1 hour by soloing Tier 4 statics. The average is lower than Tier 5, of course. One guild hall will earn you 25,000 silver in 1 minute of time. And so it's 126,000 effective silver in 5 minutes, so it's actually more effective silver than the Tier 5. This is because Tier 4 statics allow you to pull bigger and more packs. Mob density is way higher in the Tier 4 zones with the undead than it is with the keeper mobs, okay? So, but you need 54 guild halls, okay? To feed those laborers, or 378 million silver, so you need more silver invested. But you're going to make 1.5 million silver per hour with the Tier 4 Mercenary Journals. This will take 250 hours to pay it back. Now, let's talk more about what's going on here. So, Tier 6, Tier 7, and Tier 8 open world mobs, They all just about average 600,000 silver dropped, sometimes more, sometimes less, but out of all my trial runs, I average picked up silver, not item drops, 600,000 per hour. Tier 5 statics give about 500,000 silver drop per hour, and Tier 4 statics are 480,000, so you would think it would be a much bigger difference, but no. Due to the larger pulls and higher mob density, Tier 4 statics are very, very close to Tier 5s. And that's just in silver drops. In Fame, Tier 4 statics is still the winner, but we're not talking about Fame today. So here's the time taken to trade with laborers. It takes about 1 minute per guild island, okay? When I say guild island, I mean you run up into the guild hall, you feed everyone journals with shift left click, and then you move on to the next island. That is about 60 seconds of time. It's actually faster, but we're going to call it 1 minute. We're going to round it up for the math, okay? So Tier 8 laborers, you get 1.7 million for every 12 minutes of, turning in those books, which means 8.5 million, which is 12 minutes goes into 1 hour 5 times. Now, it will take 1 hour of grinding to fill those books, and in that 1 hour of grinding, you will earn 600,000. So you grind for 5 hours, 600,000 times 5. Then you add the hour of laborers, 8.5 million, and you divide it by 6, because it's 6 total hours. You get an average of 1.9 million silver per hour. All right, so if you are grinding Tier 8 mobs without laborers, you're losing a lot of silver, as you can see here. This is why I always tell everyone you should use laborers. Now, Tier 7, same thing. Here's the math. It's 1.4 million silver per hour when you grind the Tier 7 mobs. Tier 6 mobs, 1.1 million silver. It's a huge difference, okay? It's, well, not super huge, about 300k, right, per hour average. Now, Tier 5, it gets a little different, right? Because you only need to grind for 1 hour, or in this case, you need to grind for 2 hours, because it's going to take you 1 full hour just to visit your islands and turn in those damn laborer books. So that is 1.133334 silver per hour with the Tier 5 laborers. So as you can see, this is better. This is actually better than the Tier 6 laborers, okay? And then finally with Tier 4 laborers, you only grind 1 hour, and you have 54 minutes of turning in the damn books to your guild islands. So 1 hour of grinding is 480,000, and because you make 1.5 million per hour from the journals, you take those numbers, you add them together, you divide by 2 because it's only 2 hours. That's 990,000 silver per hour. So you can make almost basically 1 million silver per hour grinding Tier 4 statics. Now, the coolest thing about the Tier 4 and Tier 5 is it's in save zones. There's zero risk, and you can just go blow up statics and fame farm faster than anything in the game, and you're making over 1 million silver per hour by doing it. Whereas when you grind in the Tier 8 zones, we got a bonus here. I'm going to talk about the bonus in just a sec. When you grind in the Tier 6, 7, and 8 zones, those are full loot PvP zones. When you grind in the Tier 8 zones, you're not faction flagged, so you're not earning faction points. I didn't factor in any faction earnings in this math. I wish I did, but that would be too complex and complicated. Faction earnings is really, really hard to calculate. But other than that, let's get to the bonus section, and that is, what if you don't want to fame farm? What if you want to gather? So I just took Gamekeeper journals, okay? Tier 2 Gamekeeper laborers. You can fill 192 Tier 2 journals per hour, and gathering is 1 million silver per hour in a Tier 4 blue zone. Yes, it is. It absolutely is. I don't care what Reddit says. Try it out for yourself. Do 10 hours worth and look at your average. Anyway, so you take a Tier 5 guild hall with 15 laborers. That's going to cost you 7 million, because you need a Tier 5 guild hall to have the 15 laborers. If it's Tier 4, it won't have 15. You would need 13 guild halls for every 1 hour you want to, skin. All right, so this will cost you 91 million silver. And with the 192 Tier 2 journals, you're going to get 10,944 Tier 2 hide. And then that translates into 514,000 silver as of Bridgewatch prices on West, not other servers. So it's going to take you 177 hours to pay this back. Now, Tier 2 Gamekeeper journals is 2.364 million every hour, with 1 hour of grinding making you 1 million. And then at 4.6 hours of grinding, because that's how long it takes to fill that many journals, you'll spend an hour turning in. It's going to earn you about 5 million silver. We'll just round it to 5 hours, just rounding it to 5 hours. So 5 hours of grinding and 1 hour of turning in those laborers is in 1.227334 million per hour on average. So this number, gathering for silver, is going to beat grinding the statics. It's going to beat grinding the statics in Tier 4 and Tier 5. It beats fame farming in Tier 6. It does not beat fame farming in Tier 7 and Tier 8. But remember, Tier 7 and Tier 8 cost a whole lot of money to put down in order to beat the blue zone, right? So you can see here that you need 706 hours of grinding to make your money back on Tier 8. And you need, how much time? 546 hours on the Tier 7 to pay back. You need 600 million or 1.2 billion to barely pull more silver per hour than just farming Tier 4, skinning zones, right? So 177 hours to pay back or 91 million, okay? So you're paying 6 times less silver, and you're making a little bit less per hour, as you should, because that's, Black Zone better, right? In this case, it technically is, but it's way less money invested, okay? I don't know a single person that owns a shit ton of Tier 8, what is this? Guild halls, okay? I own 100 Tier 5 guild halls, and I got lucky because I bought my guilds and guild halls back in the day when they were way cheaper, because now to make a guild is 1 million silver, and to make a guild hall is like 5 or 6 million. So it's a ridiculous price. The furniture costs aren't really as high as back then, but it was way cheaper. It was like less than $1 million back then to like put up guild halls. And one of my quick start, best start guides back in the day, you could see that was like the meta. When you were a new player, the first thing you slapped down was guild halls, so you can get your laborers rolling out. But these days, it's very expensive to do. It's very cumbersome to do. It's just a pain in the ass, really, honestly. But everyone's been wanting to know what is the best laborer, and honestly, it's skinning, it's gamekeepers. But as far as mercenaries go, I do enjoy the Tier 4s. I do enjoy the Tier 4 laborers. Now let me just show you personally. I'm gonna scroll this text back up here real quick. I know I should do this. I should edit my videos better. Who cares? Look, they're my videos, I'll do them how I want. So, here's how I do my laborers, okay? So, obviously, I have the Tier 8 Guild Hall here. That's for 15 Mercenary Journals, right? I rotate 30 of those out a day. So, I turn in 15. I have 15 filled for the next day. So, whenever these boyos, and they were finished because I walked in there earlier. They're ready to turn in. I will take the book from them, an empty book, and I will give them a filled book. And then there we go. And then I have the Tier 7 and Tier 6. I was just testing these out. I do have the housing for both of these. I just don't really bother. And then I have 268 Mercenary Journals, Tier 5, and then 577 Tier 4. And so I just, spend an hour or two every day. I don't honestly do this much anymore. But when I did do it, I would just run through and, spend an hour or two turning in all my journals and just print multiple millions. But of course, times have changed, and I just have these referral rewards, so there we go, 1,000 gold. I just pump that, right into the market, get 6.7 million gold, just like that. I don't really bother with laborers anymore because of that. So, times change, but hey, I know people aren't YouTubers and don't have access to referral rewards like I do. So if you want to just earn extra silver, get those mercenaries out ASAP, and the only time you should ever retire the mercenaries is when you're done fame farming forever, right? Like, when you have max spec and everything, you don't need to kill mobs anymore, so you don't need laborers, okay? And as far as, hardcore expeditions go, I don't know if those filled journals, I have no idea. And, yes, bringing out journals into the red and black zone is risky, and you do tend to die sometimes, but that's just how it is. And to me, making that extra, 200k silver per hour isn't worth the risk. Anyway, that's the video. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a like, leave a comment. If you have any questions, ask. Just feel free to ask, bro, about the topic of the video, okay? I'm sick of people asking questions about other videos. Go ask the question on the video specific so that when someone else also has that question and they scroll down, they can find the answer. Whereas if you're on a fame farming video and you're asking me what is the best crop to grow, I'm not going to answer it. Go to my crop growing video and ask it there. Or just watch the video, because I've made a video answering the damn question. If you ask a question and it does not get answered, then that's because I've already made a video about it. Please search the channel. I hate that I have to tell you guys this, but anyway, thanks for watching. Leave a like, of course, and click the video on the right side of your screen, or you're just going to have heartburn all day, no matter how much antacids or ice cream you eat.